everyone. Good morning if you're on the other side of the world, and welcome to BL Week in Review. And I am BL Songbird. I don't know why I had to pause for dramatic effect. Everyone, how are you doing this evening? For me, I have a cat. And I don't know, the GMMTV 2026 lineup event was announced last night. It is coming next Tuesday. And I think that X pretty much officially exploded because it's coming next Tuesday. So that's the big news on the street. Before we get into all of the things, don't forget to like the live and leave a comment, or everybody's chatting in the live chat anyways. So yeah. And it looks like we have a lot of I am good for the day, which is awesome. Okay. We are going to start with the 2026 live events. There's a fun thing that happens on X where everybody kind of comes up with their wishes and puts it on a bingo card, and like basically during the live or whenever you happen to watch it, maybe the following day or watch all the previews, you go ahead and X off the bingo wishes that came through, and you may or may not get bingo. If you do, all you get is really the clout of having gone bingo, but you're also getting your wishes to come true. So there's something to be said for that. So my question to all of you is, what are your 2026 GMMTV wishes? And I'm going to go ahead and share mine as well. We're giving this a shot again. I'm going to go ahead and put up my bingo card on this video, see what happens, make sure my audio is still working, all of the things. So it looks like my audio should be working. This is my bingo card, everybody. A lovely user on X called LearBL puts this together for everybody, this template together for everybody every year, and he always makes it look lovely. So here it is. My hopes and dreams include a Chris Cincto series. If you will follow me a while, you will know that they are the actors that I have followed since the beginning. And honestly, rumor is that I don't know, the way they've teased their audience, I would say it's likely. It's likely that they're going to have one. Ooh, boom. I don't know. That's just wishful thinking. I have seen no rumors, but I would love it. And then a sports BL with William and S, because that would just be entertaining to me. William is, William and S would never have met if it weren't for all this, because William is an idol and S is actually a swimmer. He's in sports. So, or was originally in sports. I guess now he's in the entertainment industry. But I thought it would be entertaining if they were in a BL of that nature. And then we have I want a Ghost Hunters BL. Yeah, we had something along those lines with Tay and New, but I want it to be an actual BL. That would be fun. I want a series with the main lead being a single dad. Yes, please. Let's have that happen. I don't know. I find those stories heartwarming. Earth Mix period BL, because the Earth Mix fandom wants that incredibly badly, and I want that for them as well. I like the shows like Under the Tuscan Sun, or the movies or the stories like Under the Tuscan Sun, where you have somebody who is at their lowest point. They go on a trip, they rediscover themselves, maybe find love. A man going hiking meets a hermit. I don't know. I was tired last night, guys. And then we've got Pod and Papang as main leads in the series. I might have spelled Pod's name incorrectly. I think it's with two D's. That's neither here nor there. I don't know. I like their energy together. I'd like to see more of it. I think there should be one new adult pairing. Yes, please. I'm sure there's going to be more youth pairings. A rural setting, something on a farm, maybe. I don't know. Adventure series with romance and magic. Mm-hmm. College BL with a magical twist. We've had a few of those, but if I'm going to watch a college BL, let's add something extra to it. That's my mind on that anyway. I want Nucci as a director. If you don't know who Nucci is, they are the director of Not Me and the director of Burnout Syndrome. I do not know um, if that'll come true or not. That's just wishful thinking on my part. Shapeshifter series. This is entirely based off of the end of Revamp when Junior showed up as a werewolf, by the way. And then an ensemble college BL with at least 4 subplots. I think that's likely. That might be the only thing that's not entirely wishful thinking. That is highly likely to, to happen. All right, what are other people's wishes? Let me go ahead and find the chat here. Okay. I hope they will produce something that will surprise us. Uh, one designs their own card. The template is there for you. Um, you do not need to design your own if you do not want to. I posted the blank template on both Threads and Blue Sky, um, with along with this bingo card. I hope they will produce something. Yeah, I would love a sports BL with William S. I just have them on my list with a generic. They'll have a series that works. Generic series, yes, absolutely. Um, Barcode Lego and Barcode Kin on my bingo card, so I cover all bases. Basically, you're saying you would like Barcode. And yes, Barcode series would be awesome. I agree. That would be fantastic. Oh, ensemble. I think we'll get an Almond Progress series. I think we will too. Those cuties joined GMMTV for a reason at the end of the day, right? No doubt that we'll get Almond and Progress. For those who have no idea who I am talking about, Almond and Progress starred in Lovesick 2024, which was the remake of the 2014 series. And they both jump shipped at the same time and then joined GMM TV at the same time. And my only thought was, that is adorable. They're so young and they're making those kinds of decisions as a team. So all I could think was maybe they were offered a series already and we're going to hear about it. It's likely. It's very likely. Uh, Several ensemble dramas on the list. Yeah, I think ensembles are going to be a norm. Possibly, they have a lot of people on their team to cover. Then again, they do have the nightly slot on one of the major networks. From what I understand, like the 8:30 p.m. slot every night. So that's a lot of shows, 7 nights a week to cover at the end of the day. And you need a lot of actors and a lot of series to cover 7 time slots for a week. Nut Hong have been hitting a lot the last few weeks. Ooh, I've seen that too. Actually, they've even done some events together, right? You never know. Nut and Hong are both members of Lycan, by the way, the K-pop group. If you're wondering who they are. I didn't put Nut and Hong on my bingo card, but only because I ran out of squares. And here I was trying to come up with things. That's where the man going hiking meets a hermit thing came from. I was like, what do I put in here? Um, but honestly, I guess I could have just put more pairs in if I was thinking more clearly last night. I was just so excited, and Earth and Mix had yet to drop their profile cards into the mix, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna sleep and I'll wait till morning, and I'm sure they're going, right? Like Mix said that we were all going to cry, and I was like, that's not because they're not going. For the hottest second, I was like, is that why? But relief in the morning. They're both going, so we're all good there. All right, so yeah. GMM 2026, the big one from Thailand. Oh yeah, Bright and Great. There have been a few images floating around of those two men together. Um, for whatever reason, they've been caught in the same space, and so there's a theory floating around about Bright and Great being in a series together. Great is the man who was part of Great and In for a minute, and they did a couple of series together. I actually haven't seen In on this year's lineup. I don't think he's doing a series this next year, which would explain the announcement of them no longer moving forward together. If I am wrong about that, and somebody saw In's announcement, let me know. Anyways, all right. Onwards. Onwards to the week in review, right? Um, Feel free to continue sharing your thoughts and wishes as we go forward into the week in review. If you have any ideas of things that you want and inspiration strikes, add them to the comments. We'll look at them again in a little bit. I've got my list going on here. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start with the coming soon today. There are only 2 series, and for those who read my article, if you do at all, I apologize. I wrote there are no new series this next week. I was wrong. Somehow I missed these two. Okay, so on Tuesday, well, today, a series called Propaganda Game began in Japan. No international release right now. It's on TV and FOD in Japan. So, if you happen to be in Japan or have a way to stream from Japan, Propaganda Game started. It looks like something. It almost gave me like I don't know. It had the vibe of one of those shows that had a game show but dramatized, if you will. That's what the summary gave me, at least. A high stakes game show that's been dramatized, and there's a romance strand running through it. So it does sound kind of entertaining. And then the other series, it begins on Thursday the 20th, and that is Love Begins in the World of If. Japan is on fire this week. Actually, Japan is kind of on fire at the last part of this year, huh? They have a lot of series coming out. So, Love Begins in the World of If is actually slated to be on Gaga Ulala, our trusted Japanese streaming service. And then, guys, they don't just feed Japanese series, obviously, but that seems to be like the name I use always for Japanese series, which is why I just used that turn of phrase right there. Love in the World of If seems is going to be a parallel world plot. I love those. I like to see how people do them. I have a novel series like plot outline in my head for a parallel world story, so I'm like, bring them all on. Let's see how other people are doing them. Um, it seems like maybe there's a lot of character focus in the series with someone who maybe is a little meeker, who learns to build their confidence, and like the preview gave me like just a series about finding yourself, kind of. So those are the two series starting this week. I will find time maybe over the break to try uh, Love in the World of If. I don't have time this week. I already have my two shows on Thursdays. Um, but yeah, maybe over Thanksgiving break, because for me Thanksgiving break is a full week. I am super excited. That means I get to watch the GMM TV lineup live at here on the West Coast of the United States. It's 1:30 a.m. So yeah, nice and early. Okay, let's do a quick recap, guys. For those who are watching all of the shows, what did you think of and these are the non-spoilery what did you think moments. We'll be talking a little bit more about me and T in the spoiler section where we can like kind of release fully and give all the spoilers, but for now, this is should people watch it in real time or not kind of question. So me and T, there, by the way, almost all of the shows that dropped this last week are airing on Saturday. What is that anyway? Saturday just suddenly got flooded with all of them. Anyways, okay. We've got me and T. It's on IGE. It's on YouTube in some countries. It is a mob boss and the mob boss photographer combo. To me, yes. Watch it in real time. 100,000% laugh hysterically with all the people on X. Maybe some of the translators will be really sweet and give you some of the reasons why some of the things they're laughing at are funny. Um, enjoy it. It is really, really, really funny. And it looks like everybody in the chat who has some seen it agrees. We have I loved me and T. We have watch me and T. And then we have and considering we missed so many of the Lacorn references, is still very funny. Yes, the Lacorn references. I'll talk a little bit to that here and give you guys some clue ins about that with the little language knowledge that I happen to have. That's the disclaimer. Limited Thai language knowledge here, but I can listen and I can understand most parts of what people are saying. So there's something to that. Okay, so let's see. Uh, it was like To My Shore, but much lighter and more humorous. It's funny even if you don't know. True. True, it is. Okay, so me and T, 100% yes. The next one, Tide of Love. Somebody mentioned it already. It's from Korea. The episodes, from what I understand, are pretty short. You can find it on YouTube or Gaga Ulala. I think Tide of Love is the one that I also saw on IGE. Find it three places. Everywhere you go, you can find it. Tide of Love. I've got them mixed up. Let me know because there's also To My Shore. So we've got two titles that are all about the ocean vibes. Okay. Anyway, um, guys, I hate to say this, but Me and T was my choice. Me and T, I actually put aside Interminable Thailand for a hot second and the Wicked Game, not the Wicked Game, Interminable Thailand and God Has Blessed You from Death, both super excellent to watch Me and T. And I decided to finish that summer instead of continuing Interminable for a minute. I figured I can binge a couple of episodes next weekend since Friday's the end of that summer. But anyways, Me and T is all I saw. I guess that's the long and short of it. So, thank you to those in the comments who are willing to give me some insider information about the other three shows dropping and whether or not to check them out. Okay, so Gu Jin Nan Qiu Qiu. I think the Q is a weird noise. I know it is. QIU. All right, Mandarin miniseries. It's on YouTube and Bilibili. It is actually airing on Tuesdays and Saturdays, so episodes drop today too. And then let me know, is it worth it? And then the final one, Fridays and Saturdays, To My Shore is airing, also from China. Also, Sangaga Ulala and Vicky. Vicky is the other platform that To My Shore is on. And those three series, I heard they were the toxic trifecta. What do you guys think? All right, let me see here. What do people have to say about them? I plan to start To My Shore, but haven't yet. Okay, I loved Me and T Chas. I am going to adore that show. It was fascinating to have this kind of BL from Korea. Yes, it is also on iQIYI and Short Time. Good to know. Also, I'm assuming we're on the Tide of Love one. Okay. Yeah, the Seek Me. Okay, I don't know what this kind of BL is, but that sounds. Speaking of interminable, the first episode was a bit mad, but is improved with episode two. Good to know. A typical modern toxic CBL. Okay, so it is toxic. To My Shore, it reminded me of Revenge Love, but more mature in the way that the characters are older or further in life. Oh, interesting. Interesting. All right, there you go, guys. The toxic trifecta is real from what I've read, from what I see. So if you like toxic, you Saturday is your friend because the Wicked Game, which is the most toxic nonsense I've watched in a while, is also on Saturday. Although honestly, the Love Never Sets is climbing the ranks. But that's a little bit more forgivable since they're younger. The Wicked Game, no forgiveness. They're all a little older. They're just awful. There you go. I think that's an okay thing to put in this spot here. Okay, so there they are, the new series. I think we can safely say if you like Toxic, then you're gonna like all three of them. Me and T is also toxic in a way, but it's approached in such a different way that I feel like we're not going to feel it as much, if that makes sense. There were some incredibly toxic moments in episode one, though. So if you're like don't like things coming out of left field at you in like toxic ways, you might actually not appreciate it. I did see one person say they didn't like it so much because of those moments, which was interesting. Okay. There were no series that ended this week. That's all I have to say. Zero. So we have no recommendation list for this week because they're all current. We're just going to keep adding more. Congratulations. We're up to like 35 right now. And what's really sad is that Mondays and Tuesdays are still a little like on the dead end of series to watch, which means they're all just crowded into the rest of the week. That's pretty hilarious, right? Anyway, okay, no series ended. Am I wrong? Oh, did it end today? I was wondering. It did say episode 10, and maybe it ended today. Can never tell if I'm not watching it in real time if the series ended. Sometimes if you scroll through the comments, sometimes it'll kind of tell you, sometimes it's hard to tell. Okay, so Hot Brother Next Door, one series ended today. I've seen comments about that series saying it's surprisingly excellent. So I don't binge series often, but if I find time, either over Thanksgiving break, over Christmas, I'm hoping to be in the stages of like editing and beta reading for my novel. So over Christmas might be a moment where I have a little bit more peace to do this, binge something. We'll see. Um, I do, though, however, have my December countdown coming up. I don't know who was following me last year, or any of you, if any of you were, but December is fun. I do my top 31 series, a series a day for 31 days. And then last year I started adding questions every day so everybody else could wrap up their season as well, or wrap up their BL year. And we are doing it again this year. So with those two things going on, December is bound to be, plus novel, December is bound to be extremely busy. All right. Let us go to the section of the spoilers. The spoiler section. All right. It's primarily me and T centric today. However, if there are any moments that you feel like you need to shout out and you need to commiserate about, you're welcome to extend the chat from there. I will be. I came up with a fun little set of questions as usual. So let's get going. We have this or that style moment here from me and T centric, and I was giggling to myself while writing these, so hopefully you guys find them amusing. So, this or that, number one, your name engraved on everything, or a dinner table you have to shout across to be heard. This or that, which would you choose? I'm so excited to get everybody's answers for that. I think, but then I just realized I also have to answer this question. Okay. Which extravagance would I okay, all right, I'm going for it. The table. Wait, no, sorry, not the table. The names on everything. And this is absolutely and utterly ridiculous. Guys, did you notice that his name was even like stenciled onto the bathtub faucet? Like what was that? But I'd prefer to have my loved ones closer to me at the dinner table to like be able to have conversations at dinner. So I will subtly put my name on everything. That is my choice. It doesn't have to be as ostentatious as what he did. You know what I mean? Like it can be just a little stencil somewhere. So we've got a couple of dinner tables. Also, Valerie, dinner tables for you, and then Chaz is the name. Um, yeah, right. Where I don't know. I don't know if your brain was like in a similar place to what my explanation was, but it's entertaining. Okay. Which would you choose to be in? The mafia or the entertainment industry? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Honestly, in my head when I said that, they both seemed equally kind of toxic and challenging to be a part of in their own way. So for me, I would probably choose the entertainment industry. Mm, I don't know. Is this am I already there? You guys will have to let me know. Can we consider this like a small fringe section of the entertainment industry already? If that's the case, I made my choice a couple years ago. But being in the mafia would be just too cutthroat for me, I think. Not that the entertainment industry isn't cutthroat too, because it is, right? That's why I thought that this was an interesting parallel between the two, because they're both kind of cutthroat in their own ways, and people get like chopped down to size in different ways, and like anyway, both of them are equally toxic in a variety of ways. So, all right, let's see. Entertainment industry. I wonder if he had everything engraved or his staff just always does it. Staff, maybe his staff always. I don't know. I feel like he tells the staff what to do. I think that was his choice. At least you don't get shot in the entertainment industry, nor do you have to shoot. Shoot, shot. Just you don't lose your life from the entertainment industry, I suppose, but you do get shoot. You do participate in shoots and you do get shot in a way. Okay. In the entertainment industry, because I don't want to kick the bucket. It makes sense. Okay. All right. Now we're getting a little bit more centric here. And how was I interpreting this when I wrote it? I think like choosing your favorite character is how I interpreted this more than like anything else. So me or Peach or tea? Which one? Peach or tea? Which one did you kind of side with in episode 1? Let's find out. For me, you kind of have to immediately side with Peach at the end of the day. For me, anyways, that was my feeling. Tea is a lot to take in. So, Peach, he's so down to earth. Peach. Okay. We've got some people who are with me on the Peach platform and not the Tea platform. He's just, you can see the humor, and he can see the humor, and it was really cool to watch him just struggle with not straight out laughing at T and his over the top ridiculous Lacorn style behavior. I think Mulk is going to be funny to watch the way he watches T and immediately clocked the crush on Peach. Yes. Yes. Est is playing Mulk to a T. Subtle facial expressions, the serious moments where he almost started laughing himself. Uh, I still remember the way he like caught the paper that was tossed at his boss's face. That for some reason that was like comedic gold right there. I don't know. That made me laugh so hard. Okay. I am very much a peach, but I was very fascinated by tea. The way you worded that, Chats, when I said it out loud, I am very much a peach. Uh, anyway, okay. Estes perfection. He is. I don't know, like the acting quality, super high, super high. He's so very different from the last character we saw him as in Tempo, right? So different. Okay, so that ends our very short segment of this or that. Now onwards, I need to know what you laughed the hardest at. What were you just like tears streaming down your face, cracking up? Or maybe that didn't happen for you. But for me, it was a language moment. Okay, so context a little bit. People here were saying like you didn't need the language to laugh. It is true. You didn't need to have an understanding of the language to laugh. Know that T speaks in a version of Thai that is straight out of a period Lacorn. Um, Down to the fact that instead of using pom, which is like the male way to say I, he uses shen, which is like super formal, super old fashioned way to say I. And shen is in that context more like universally neither male or female. But nowadays, mostly only women use that version of I in a formal kind of way. So know that even that by itself is kind of amusing. Also, his verbs are outdated. His endings are outdated. All of it. It's like if somebody in the Western world who spoke English, so all of us here kind of are going to probably understand this context. We're speaking with these and thous in like a Shakespeare kind of accent. A little bit like that. That is how he speaks regularly. And then at one moment, the moment that I found hilarious was when Peach absent-mindedly used the same style of language. And then he was like, what the heck am I doing right now? And it was just so real. It was just, I was dying. It was the funniest thing. Okay, let's see. What did other people find funny? The final scene. Okay. Oh, yeah, the final scene. That was also funny where he was like trying to pull through his head and like sift through his head all the corns and like, how am I supposed to respond to this situation? What licorn is going to save me? And then he like gets down on one knee. Oh my god. It's so bad. Tea blowing on Peach's hurt hand. I laugh so much throughout. Pooin's expressions are so much fun to watch. Also true. Oh, Pooin's expressions. The way he went from terrified to like, what is this person? Like, to kind of like laughing at his ridiculousness and everything in between. It all showed up on his face beautifully. Um, Absolutely. Those were all the questions I had. Uh, so we can keep going on with the chat for a little while longer. I liked how he told the TV network to keep replaying that old Lehorn during the prime time. Right? Mm. It was a period style one too. That was the one apparently to watch for that point in time. Oh my gosh. It's going to be interesting to learn why his world is so filled with licorns at the end of the day. Like, I wonder if we'll find out the reason for that. Because that would be interesting to know. You know? Oh, what else? Is there anything else from that episode that struck my fancy? The bathtub in the pool of still water. What? The amount of like then this question popped into my head for that. I was like, did they go and find themselves this location with a pool and then they put a bath, like, did this exist or did they have to create the whole thing, right? Because that was so over the top extravagant. I had a hard time imagining that it existed in real life, which means that that was a set they designed. Maybe that part will be in the behind the scenes. Maybe they'll tell us. That would be helpful. That was so what his whole entrance. I was laughing so hard at T's entrance into this series. Like the man with his hand shaking because he realized he had the wrong perfume. And T didn't say anything necessarily. Okay. Anyway, let's see what other people are into this week. Unrelated to me and T, but can I just mention this week's episode of School Trip and Watch It Eyes Jealous Glare? Ooh. School Trip is also really unexpectedly delightful. School Trip, yeah, so much fun. The catch up that made me laugh. Okay, so yeah, School Trip. This is the moment, guys. Mention whatever you'd like at this point. We're just chatting. School Trip, I was not expecting the F4 in that series, the four handsomest guys, to be the sweetest, most adorable, most loving boys ever at all. So just that alone has made that just really a joy to watch. And then, yes, Watarai, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Glare was great. Was great. And is it Hioki? I know it's an Ioki. I don't remember the first letter of his name right now. His confusion over the course of the whole episode was also pretty amusing to me. Yeah, super cute. What else? I mentioned that today's episode of The Love Never Sets just added another layer of toxicity to a toxic series. I maintain that. I wrote a post. I said everyone's toxic. Like I named names and call them all toxic. And some people had some questions for me, and some people disagreed, and that's okay. And I do agree with one though when they said they get a little bit of a pass because they're young. I will give you that. But the love never sets is a hard swallow, and I was expecting it to be just fun, and it's not. So I guess that's a little irritating to me. All right, let's see. Pond is nailing T and his performance. Yes. I was unsure. I knew Puan had it in the bag. But T just is so unlike, like from the preview and from everything I understand of that character. He's so unlike anything that a real human would be. Real human. He's so unlike anything that Pond is like that I was like, is he going to be able to do this? And like so far, chef's kiss. Fantastic. All right, let's see. I've still got episode 6 of Love Never Sets to watch, and I'm going to decide then if I want to continue. I'm finding it a little boring. Okay. Warm was definitely being toxic. Yes. Yes, he was. Incredibly. Uh, any other news that you guys want to chat about? Anybody watching Goddess? I was a little sad to stop watching that for a minute, but at the same time, me and T was worth it. So Goddess bless you from death. I will come back to you because it seems to be climbing in the ranks of X every week in its engagement numbers. By the way, as you mentioned for Patreon members, Thai vertical series Hearts Aglow started last Tuesday. Yes. So if you are into the short form vertical series, Hearts Aglow began. There's so many of those floating around, and I almost see it as a separate genre in a way that I don't talk about them. But you guys are the audience. If you would like that kept track of a little bit more, let me know. I put it on my Patreon Discord server if I happen upon one. I don't deliberately look for them like I do the longer live action series. The longer ones, I'm like scouring the internet to make sure that we've found all of them that we can find. Yeah. Okay. Head to Head had some solid movement. Oh my gosh. That show is so freaking cute. I don't even know. Like, what? That show is so cute, guys. And then me and who, yes, also cute. Although, right now, I'm finding the characters in Head to Head more adorable than me and who. Those, like, okay, so on Sunday, we have more time. We do have a little bit more time. I have time for more stories. On Sunday, in one, okay, so the Patreon Discord server, we have a watch party on Sundays. We watched Only Boo, the final episode with C and Keen. And then in another watch party I attended, we watched Head to Head. So I kind of saw both versions of C and Keen in one evening. They are young. This is their second series. The acting is really nuanced for young actors for those two. C's character in particular is so different between those two shows that honestly, like in that moment of watching Head to Head on Sunday, I liked it even more because I'd just seen the contrast and I was like, dang, that's amazing. Okay, so those two are actors to watch. Definitely actors to watch. Tried and true now, right? This is series number 3. I know series numbers 2 was like short, but still 4 episodes of 45 minutes in length is a lot of series are that length that we watch at the end of the day. So, Head to Head and oh gosh, the other two, the side couple We'll just go with the side couple today. They were also they're growing on me. They're the adorableness and the nuance in acting just it seems to be improving from episode to episode. It makes me wonder if they filmed them in order. Let's see. Me and who had a little suspense this week at the amusement park. It did. There were some moments. I'm actively watching 5 Japanese series and 7 Thai series, and I am loving all of them. I also enjoyed the first 4 episodes of Peach Trap as well. Awesome. Peach Trap is I've seen people saying it's super cute. Gonna have to try it sometime. Maybe binge it. I'm watching 22 series, not counting regular dramas. Wow. Brava. Keen said in a recent live that their 10 episode series got expanded to 12 episodes, and he was freaking out about the response. That makes me happy. I agree about seeing Keen. I am loving head to head. Wait, it's going to be 12 episodes. Okay, that is true. I'm having that same internal reaction. It didn't appear on the outside because I was like, how many series am I watching? It's less than 14, guys, because on Monday I'm only watching The Secret of Seer, and on Tuesday I'm only watching The Love Never Sets. So that leaves what? 12. I'm I'm Who am I? What world are we living in right now? I am only watching 12 shows right now. That's weird. I am normally right up there with Ceresia at 22 at the end of the day, right? But no, this is good, guys. The novel is going to get done. It's going to happen. That's what I get for only watching 12 shows. I literally cut 10 out. How did I do that? Good for me. I'm not watching Lover Merman because only 2 Saturday shows. I see some spoilers and I'm like, I kind of want to know what's going on with that show. But anyway, okay. I wonder how they can add more episodes when they were already delayed filming and Keen is injured. That is a good question. I guess we will find out. Um, I was wondering about that. I feel like they must have had like head to head lined up in this time slot a long time ago. Like they must have mapped out this schedule last year. And then this one got delayed and then still had to release when it did. I was like, why didn't Only Friends come out? It's done. And obviously Only Friends, probably just was slated to release later due to the actor schedules maybe. I wonder if they will write Keen's injury into the story. That would work. Smart. Smart. They actually have episodes to write. Oh man. Hopefully that just meant that they could tell the story better at the end of the day, right? Like if it's been expanded to 12 from 10, hopefully they felt crowded in 10 and they get to let the story breathe a little bit more. Fingers crossed. I really hope so. The 13th series I am currently watching is more than I have ever watched at one time before. I cannot imagine watching more. All right. How did I do that? I don't know. It's all I did for a minute there. Over the summer, yeah. Since I'm a teacher, I can like take the summer and do just this job essentially. That's how that ended up happening. But that was when I should have been writing my novel and when I was not. And so now here we are. Okay, guys. That's all I've got today. This was fun though. I'm glad I'm actually kind of glad everything planned ended a little early and we got to chat. That was pretty cool. All right. Until next time, have a good week and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye, everybody.